Okay, so life being as it is, the internet wasn't great this morning, even having checked it with Julie first thing. But hey ho, that's how it goes. So what I actually thought I'd do is I will give you a little chat on video. Hopefully, Julie, you'll get time to do this at the end of your day. I hope you've had a really great day and taken a lot of information of what Julie can actually give you and take it forward and build your business. It'd be fantastic. Right. As Julie said, I'm an EFT practitioner. My name's Claire Attio. I run and own EFT Costa Blanca. I live here on the Costa Blanca. The sun's shining, it's gorgeous. But I do actually do work across the globe. A lot of it in England, some in France. Work here, just kind of working my way into the States now. I work with a whole diverse of people, to be honest, but I do a lot of work with businesses and people that are wanting to start up businesses, giving them, coaching them in who they are, what they want to be, how they value themselves, what they believe about themselves. Julie will actually, if you've started, if you've taken Julie up on her coaching, or you're thinking about taking Julie up on her coaching, the one thing that you will come across is mindset. If you've not come across it before, mindset. What is it? It's one of those new words that everybody's kind of throwing around at the moment, and to be honest, a lot of people don't really understand what it is and how it works. Mindset is what you actually think and say about yourself, what you actually think and say about your others, but mostly the most important thing, especially in business, is about yourself. Because what you can actually find is what you think and what you say can actually have effect on your business. It has an effect on your life, but it really can impact on your business, which is why coaches will actually bang on about mindset. Get yourself in the right place, get yourself into that, that positivity. But it's not a case of just actually getting yourself in that positivity. It's about actually really feeling it. Because if you don't actually feel it, if you're saying all the right things, but you're not actually feeling that you're there, people are going to see through that. You need to get to a place of authenticity. Otherwise, we've all come across people that we don't actually believe in. They can give us a sell, they can give us a spill, they can reel it off, without even taking a breath, and they can really get you fired up, really, really good at getting you fired up, and then you actually come away and you go, yeah, and it's because they're not giving you that authenticity. The easiest way to sell, and actually you don't actually have to sell, is just tell people what you do, how you do it, and be true to yourself, be true, believe in what you're doing, believe that you can actually help people. If you're offering a service, what services you offer. You don't have to be perfect. This is the thing, if you've got authenticity, it doesn't matter if you're not perfect. If you're offering a service, just believe in it. That will come across, but it's believing that it will come across and people will buy into it. That is where you need to get yourself at. EFT, how does that come into it? EFT comes into it because of how the mind works, and it's probably better for me to explain how the mind works before I go into EFT. EFT, what is EFT? EFT is psychology, modern psychology, and ancient traditional energy work, acupressure. Everybody's, acupuncture has now become mainstream. 20 years ago, if you actually talk to somebody, it was like one of those new age things. But and what we're actually doing is, with the tapping that we actually do, is acupressure. So acupuncture without the needles, and we combine the two. I also combine other things like visualization, meditation, positive affirmations, whatever fits that person, because what I've actually found is not everybody is a meditator, not everybody is likes to listen to positive affirmations. We all have different levels of where we kind of just stop and think, nah, that's not for me. And that's absolutely fine. It's knowing where your levels are, which is why I combine, you know, a lot of other bits and pieces as well, to get people where they need to be, to get them from A to B, without going all around the houses. Because I could say to you, right, okay, go away and visualize this. You may not be a visualizer. You may be an audio person. Or I could say to an audio person, I could say to a I could say to a visual person, go and listen to this, and it wouldn't have any effect because they are a visualization person. So that is why I bring in a lot of other complementary treatments into the mix, so that I can actually get to the core, get to the problem, get to the block much quicker. So to move you on, get your business up and running, get you the clients that you want, give you the confidence that you need to go to that corporate and get that corporate deal. That's what I do. The mind, how the mind works. Everybody will be aware that, you know, we have the conscious mind and the unconscious mind. What they may not be aware of is the conscious mind. It's only 2 to 3% of the whole of what we do. We only use our conscious mind 2 to 3%. And this is where we sometimes come unstuck, because we're not realizing what's going on in the background. And the best way of actually describing a mind is, think of it as a mainframe computer. And what actually happens is we program ourselves, and most of the programming is done between the ages of 0 to 6, which is where it comes back to where Joe was saying, you know, you could be running your business on the beliefs of a 6-year-old. If you've not uploaded, if you've not updated, if you've not done an update as you would on your computer, you could still be using belief systems and values that you learnt when you were a child, and you've not actually updated on that, which is what we do with the EFT. We update. We get you to actually see where the problem areas are, what needs to be updated, how we're going to get updated. We pull out the old programming and we put in the new. And it's not we, as in we, I show you how to do it, but it's something you do yourself. That's the beauty of this technique. Once you've actually learned it, once you've got through the big stuff, and you do need a practitioner to go through the big stuff, because you won't take yourself to places that make you uncomfortable. None of us do. Practitioners have practitioners. Because we innately will not take ourselves to, you know, to places that make us feel uncomfortable. But once we've done the uncomfortable work, it's then a tool that you have got to use for the rest of your life. So you've got nothing to lose really, and everything to gain. Nothing to lose and everything to gain. And that is one of my mottos, and that is something I say to my clients all the time. Nothing to lose, everything to gain. So that is that. Subconscious and conscious. 2 to 3% of the conscious mind. And then we go up in layers, because then what comes after that is behaviours. And behaviours can be changed. If they're not attached to a rooted belief or value, behaviours can be changed. And that's something you can do on your own. You can decide that, you know, you are going to start going to the gym, and you go to the gym. And you do that, and you do that very well. The problem is lies, and you will know either yourself, or you will know somebody in your family, or you're in your circle of friends where they've been really geared up. They're gonna change. They're gonna go to the gym, but they only go for 2 to 3 weeks, and that is because if there is a root in a belief or a value within your subconscious, after 21 days, you will give up. There is an internal battle, and your subconscious will always win because it's got such a big resource, whereas your conscious is only 2 to 3%. So that's behaviours. Behaviours can be changed. You can change behaviours yourself as long as they're not rooted anywhere. Your potential is the next layer, and none of us actually know what our full potential is. None of us. And I say that again, None of us know what our full potential is. So it's limitless. It's absolutely limitless. Our potential is limitless. It depends on how far we want to push ourselves, how much work we want to do on ourselves, how much time we are willing to put into ourselves is where our potential lies. It is limitless. The level after that, which is what I deal with, or the next 3 levels after that, which is what I would deal with, is first beliefs. What are our belief systems? What do we believe about ourselves? Why do we believe about ourselves? Our values of our place in life, our values, family values, spiritual values, money values. Two very big areas, and if you're considering that this is what is running us and this is what is making us, go through life with, those are the areas that we need to look with. And the last one, the very deepest one, is identity. Your identity. Who are you? What do you actually say to yourself? When you actually say, who am I? What are you saying? Is that positive? Is that negative? Is it limiting? All these things are what need to be looked at, and this is where mindset and mindfulness come in, because with beliefs, values and identity, they are the programs that run us the most, and we don't even know that it's running us. If you think about children when they learn to talk, when they're born, they have no ability to talk. They can make noises, they don't really know how to walk. And then they download from us how to talk. And then we all talk now without even thinking about it. Walking. Babies don't walk. They download and then they learn to walk. They learn that they fall over, it hurts, they pick themselves up, they carry on, and they continue to do that. A classic for an adult that you might be able to identify with more quickly is driving. Remember when you first got in that car before you passed your test, and the instructor was saying, look in your rear view mirror, look in your side mirror, put it into first, and take off the handbrake, and move your foot from the brake, put it on the clutch, put it on the accelerator, and you're kind of like, whoa, how am I going to do all this? How am I going to remember all this? And then you learn to drive. You've programmed yourself to learn to drive. Now, how many of you have driven home from work and kind of thought, and you've gotten there, and you can't actually remember the journey? I mean, I've done it several times. I have to say, I've kind of thought, oh, I hope I haven't gone through any red lights, because I really haven't remembered. And that's because your subconscious is actually doing it. It's a program that you've learnt, and it just takes over. You don't actually use your conscious mind to drive. You don't actually use your conscious mind to talk. You don't actually use your conscious mind to walk. And it's all in the background, it's all playing out, it's all doing what it's supposed to do. But the problem is if we have perceived ourselves in a certain way that is negative, then it will limit us as adults. Because what happens is we just add to that. We just add to that negativity. It doesn't have to be real. That's the other thing. It doesn't have to be real. Very often as children, because we don't have our intelligence isn't fully grown, we're unable to process what we hear, what we see, what we felt. So we actually put it in one box and it stays in that box. Unless we actually do this kind of work, it stays in that box. So as we come into adolescence, something else happens, and we have that same uncomfortable sensation, and we put it in that same box, that same file. And then as adults, we keep adding to it and adding to it and adding to it until it actually limits us. Everybody on this planet has one form of limitation or another. I defy anybody to say, oh no, I don't, because none of us are perfect. We're all a work in progress. My that I'm working through at the moment is being in front of the camera. I have spent all of my adult life shying away from the camera. Not, you know, when video cameras come out, I actually learned everything I could about video cameras so that I could actually be behind it, so I wouldn't have to be on the film. And that was just from an incident that happened when I was 3 years old. And I'd remembered it. It was a sensation that I didn't like. It was just something so simple. That's the other thing. And I think this is a thing that worries a lot of people with psychology. And there's so many stories out there and so many myths. It doesn't have to be a trauma. It doesn't have to be a really bad situation. It doesn't have to be, you may not remember it, but it's not a case of not remembering it because it's really, really bad. It could be something really simple. Something to kind of describe that is an alcoholic, for example. Everybody thinks, oh, an alcoholic, and a psychologist, traditional psychology would start delving into the background. Why have you become an alcoholic? What has happened to you? It must be terrible. No, an alcoholic can become an alcoholic because as a child, their parents enjoyed social drinking. They met up with friends that also had children. They played, they had a really good time, they loved it. As a young adult, they went out with their friends, they had a drink, they had a great time, they loved it. Get into their 30s and 40s and life's getting hard. They're getting, you know, work stressful. They want to recuperate those times of when, you know, those good memories. They want to recuperate those good memories of when they felt good and happy and joyful and carefree. So they start drinking because they've associated good times with alcohol. Now, none of that has been bad experiences. That, you know, that's not bad experiences from the past. It's been good, happy experiences. It's been normal experiences, but the perception and the way the brain stored it, so then they try to recuperate that. And obviously one thing leads to another, to another, to another, and they become an alcoholic. So the perception of always having there always having to be a hidden trauma or, you know, something terrible in your history, it's just not correct. For some people, yes, but for the majority of us, no. It can be very, very, very simple things that is kind of laid a foundation and a perception of who we are and how we're supposed to be. And it's that we want to get rid of if it's not serving us. And that's mindset. It's how we think about ourselves. Now, how that mindset in business and why coaches use mindset in business is because if you've gone to a business coach, you're wanting to increase business. You're wanting to run your business better. So if you think of your business as your reality, and to change your reality, you have to change your thoughts. The way you think about it, the way you think about your business, the way you think about you, the way that you're actually doing it. You have to change your thought patterns. You have to make new and unfamiliar choices. You have to start new behaviours and experience new things. And from that you get new emotions. And it comes back, new emotions and new feelings, and storing that. And from those new emotions and new feelings, you then start to build new beliefs. Once you've got new beliefs in place, you just automatically get a new reality, and that new reality is your business built, and moving it forward, and keep moving it forward, and so on and so on. Build it. However big you want it. As I said, potential is limitless. So if you are only wanting to reach a certain level, that is the only level that you will reach. If you've set yourself, and this is why I always say be very careful on your wording and your thoughts when you're setting your goals. Don't set goals that limit you, because you will only reach those goals. Even if you do all of this work and you do it religiously day after day after day after day after day, if you've actually set yourself a limit unconsciously or consciously, set yourself a limit because you think, well, that's too much to ask, or it's not realistic, I'm going to reach that this year. Even if you reach it, you won't surpass it because you've actually set that goal. You've actually set that limit. You've limited yourself. So you have to be very careful how you word. And that's what we who use mindfulness and mindset actually teach you, is to how to word things. And we're not perfect. None of us are perfect, as I've said before. EFT, how EFT works. As I said, you go into yourself. What we actually do is we do setup statements. So we look at an area where you're actually lacking or you're having difficulty with, or you've actually highlighted, you've actually noted it yourself. And a really good way of doing this is a 30-day challenge of getting in control of your thoughts. So spend 30 days and being mindful of what you think. And just turning up the volume of those voices in your head, to just turn up the volume and actually listen to what you're actually saying to yourself, and pick out the ones, write them down. Having, most people have got, Androids and iPhones that have got notepad and things on there. Just scribble it in there, or scribble it on a bit of paper, or scribble it somewhere, the things that you're actually saying to yourself that are quite negative. Because you don't actually realise you're doing it until you actually start tuning into it. And that's why I say turn the volume up. When you've got these voices in your head, when you're saying things to yourself, actually listen to it and see what you're saying to yourself. And you'll be really surprised at how negative you are. Unless you've been doing this work before, you will be gobsmacked by the amount of negativity that is going on in your head. And all this negativity is actually stopping you from moving forward. It's actually stopping you from building your business. This is why you're getting fluctuations, because you're kind of, if you've gone to any kind of workshops, any seminars, if you're doing your coaching, you'll come away going, yeah, this is great. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And you do it. And you can see your business growing, and then it starts to slide down again. And that comes back to the behaviors, the 21 days. It comes back to with what you're actually thinking about yourself. It comes back to the stamina of actually keeping it going. So it's really important. So a 30-day challenge where you actually tune into what you're saying to yourself and write it down. Write down the negativities, and you will actually see, if you write down every single time and the negative thoughts that come in, you will actually start to see a pattern, and you will actually be able to start to identify, is it a belief? Is it a value? Is it a self-confidence issue? Is it because I don't think I'm worthy? Is it because I'm frightened of becoming somebody that I've always believed that I don't like? A lot of different things, but you will. If you actually set yourself, if you actually do the 30-day challenge, you will actually find a pattern. You will actually find those core beliefs and those core values that are actually stopping you from really moving forward. Right. Okay. So that's basically what I do. EFT, it is out there. It is hippie. It is new age. But it works. Take from that what you want. You either want to do it, you don't want to do it. You either want to move forward or you don't want to move forward. You either want the fast road or you're happy to take the long road. The choice is yours. The choice is yours. All I can say to you is, if you've spent the money on having coaching, then spend that little bit more and have some EFT and get rid of those blocks, and you will reap the benefits in no time. I can't say any more than that. I have actually put together a package for this group, specifically for this group, what I've actually done is I've actually done a discount for you. I can do 6 one-on-one sessions, and I actually do that for $325. I've also, because I'm aware that if you're starting up in business, you know, investing in a coach, and then investing in an EFT coach, and then investing in your website and everything else. I'm fully aware of all the, you know, financial. So what I've actually done is I've also, if you find this interesting, but you really can't afford the one-on-one sessions, which really get you there fast paced, I've actually put together a DIY kit where I do one session with you as well. So you can actually get a feel for what you're doing. And in that DIY kit, there are different tools, different mechanisms. I do videos, and you can watch and you can take yourself through the steps, and that I've actually got at the moment for 150. I'll leave it at that. The choice is yours. Julie will be able to give you my details, but I'm available. I've got the website www.eftcostablanca.com. You can contact me on email, which is eftcostablanca@icloud.com. On the website you'll be able to get hold of my telephone number, but I can give it to you. It's +34 638 541 110. And also Facebook, www.facebook.com/EFT Costa Blanca. I hope you found this talk interesting. You may not be ready to go there yet. You may want time to think about it. That's absolutely fine, not a problem. If you have any questions, I also do, as a normal thing, I also do a 15-minute free consultation, and just see if, you know, it is something that we can actually work together and work for. And obviously you can get the details from the website there. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed your day with Julie. Have a safe journey home, and possibly talk to you in the future. You take care. Bye bye.